Hi, namaste, and thanks for tuning in. I want to continue a little bit on the theme I introduced as my first video for 2019, which is transformation. How basically we remain the same, but our likes, our dislikes, our preferences, our ideas about who we are transform. I always think back to an interview I did when I was in grade 3 with my grandmother. We had this assignment at school to pick somebody who we feel has an interesting life history, who has done something that we find fun in our own family, and interview them, ask them questions that don't come up in ordinary day-to-day conversation. So I interviewed my grandmother, and among questions I asked her, one of the questions I asked was, how did she feel about herself when she was the age I was at that interview, when she was my age in grade 3, like 7 years old, 8 years old? And how did she feel differently in her 60s? Her answer was something that really took me aback, and I feel it was one of the most enlightening perspectives on the process of aging I've ever heard, even till this day, after reading so many books by so many enlightened masters, after studying so many cultures. My grandma really hit the nail on the head. She said the exact way she felt, as far back in her memory as she can go, to her earliest childhood. Inherently, she still feels that same exact way now. That aging isn't about becoming a different person. It's not like suddenly one day you reach the age of 40 and you're a full-grown adult, or you reach the age of 50 and you're approaching retirement and now you have a different perspective on everything, or you become 60 or you become a grandparent and suddenly now you're an old person. She said that for her, and I think this is why she's so youthful to this day, she said for her, the things she liked when she was a kid, she likes now. The things that she revered as good qualities in other people, she still reveres now. She went through a major transformation in her early life that I feel I've kind of followed in her footsteps in some ways. She was born and raised Mennonite, which is a very strict Christian sect. It's almost like Amish, but maybe not quite as restrictive. And in her family, in her upbringing, she was the only girl in the community who actually graduated from high school and went to post-secondary. She was the first Mennonite girl in that strict community in Canada who went on to get a university degree. And while she was at university, she discovered Catholicism and she converted by choice after seeing a procession going down the street in the city. I think it was Edmonton, University of Alberta. She saw a procession in the street and it was so beautiful she followed it to see what it was. And she said there was this statue of a gorgeous woman surrounded by flowers. It looked like a float in a parade. And the procession went all the way into a small chapel. And when she went inside, she asked somebody what it was. And they said that it was a procession in honor of Mother Mary. She said the moment that she looked at that statue of Mary, the moment she heard the meaning of revering motherhood, like worshiping the Divine Mother, she started to cry tears of bliss, because in the Mennonite faith, the only aspect of divinity is masculine. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Male Ghost. Suddenly she saw this feminine symbol of divinity and just melted. That same exact day, she told the chaplain that she wanted to become Catholic, and he gave her some information. She started the process and she converted. Now, I myself discovered Hinduism in a similar way when I was 13. I sat down to overcome my fear of the dark. Inadvertently, accidentally, synchronistically, who knows, maybe it was planned in the higher realms, I started doing a meditation on darkness and actually had a vision of Kali, the goddess who is the embodiment of darkness, like that primordial womb from which we all come. And that day, without even realizing it, I feel that was the day I became Hindu, even in this lifetime. I discovered a tradition that honors the mother as the source of all. It's like the Shakta faith, the faith that reveres and recognizes divine femininity is the mother of all creation, is the source of all creation. When I described this to my grandma a couple of years ago, she said that she feels like it's almost a relay race that we're in. She took the baton as far as accepting that feminine can be divine, and I've taken it into following a faith that sees femininity as the highest divinity. When we look over our lives and see what we liked when we were babies, what we liked as toddlers, what we liked as kids, as adolescents, as teenagers, as adults, when we really think about it, our basic inner state doesn't change. We always like it when people are nice to us. We don't like it when people are mean to us. We like it when food tastes good. We don't like it if it tastes bad. We like being comfortable. We don't like being burned. These innate human characteristics and qualities will remain throughout all the passing trends, disturbances, joys, excitements of life. However, with every major milestone, we will learn more and truly become more and more ourselves. I've had comments on my latest videos saying that people missed the old me, they missed Sue Devi, or they missed Swarupa Priya. They can't understand why I've become Sarah once again. The funny thing is, for me, throughout all the different names, all the different clothing styles, all the different hairstyles, all the different video themes and topics, I have remained unchanged and the same. It's just the things that inspire me and make me passionate have differed, have changed from time to time, but the core remains unshaken. There's a beautiful concept in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, in Hinduism, that shows pure consciousness is the ultimate and exists within each and every one of us. Paramahamsa Nityananda, the guru to whom I will always be grateful for his teachings and for everything that he showered on me when I was a member of his organization, he said that truly pure consciousness is the only unchanging absolute in all of our lives. We are all that. You are pure consciousness. When we think of art, you might see a blank canvas. If you give the same kind of a blank canvas to 10 different artists, each one will make something different on it. They'll put different colors. Someone might do a landscape, someone might do a portrait, someone might do pure abstract expressionist on their work. But the canvas remains the same. The dimensions of that canvas, whatever it might be, will be identical for all of them. The same way each of us has pure consciousness as our foundation, what we develop on that pure consciousness is only a limited human identity. When our humanness comes to an end, we become pure consciousness once again. That might happen in 10 lifetimes, it might happen in 100 lifetimes, it might happen in 1,000 or millions of lifetimes, depending on whether we take the scenic route to enlightenment, which is the route of worldly enjoyment, pleasure, self-discovery, or if we take the direct route, which would be the route of just renouncing everything, tuning in and staying there. One beautiful thing about the Hindu understanding is that no matter which route we take, we eventually reach that goal. The moment we know we come from pure consciousness, we will become pure consciousness again, that moment we can rest in our feeling of desperation. We don't have to make amends for sins because we're not sinners. We don't have to apologize for mistakes because ultimately everything is going to become perfect. We don't have to dwell on the past. We don't have to stress about the future. However, when we want something, we should be integrated towards achieving it. We should put everything we have into it. Otherwise, we're going to completely miss the mark of what we're here for. What does it mean to be integrated to something that we want? It means not to question, to backtrack, to be iffy, wishy-washy about it, but just you want something, do it, get it. In this sense, I want to answer one of the frequently asked questions on my recent videos, which is, why did I try to talk people into spending thousands of dollars to go to Inner Awakening? Why did I try to convince people to become a sannyasi? Don't I feel guilty about that now? The answer is absolutely not. I myself spent thousands of dollars on Inner Awakening, and it was the best thing I could have done with that money. I got so benefited from those programs. I myself took the kavi and lived as a sannyasi in the first level of initiation, which is brahmacharyam, which Swamiji himself told us we can always complete and break if we ever choose to. It's not a lifelong vow. It's an experience. It's like getting in the door to see whether or not that's our path. For many people, they choose to stick with it and get the initiation into the full sannyas. For others like me, we might decide that there are still things we want to do and explore in life outside of a structured organization. And it's perfectly all right, whatever we choose, as long as we live with integrity to our decisions and with integrity to ourselves. For those who want to go to IA, I say, good, go for it, enjoy. For anyone who wants to become an Adi Navasi, to live in Adi Kailash with Swamiji, good, go for it, enjoy. There's nothing terrible, there's nothing sinister that happened that made me leave. I've had people even insulting Swamiji, insulting his integrity to his mission, my integrity to his mission. And it's really starting to get frustrating because I don't know how many times I have to answer the same questions over and over and over again. And still a lot of people don't believe it. A lot of people have asked, did he misbehave with me? And that makes me think, what kind of a little kid mentality do you have to have towards life if you use a word like misbehave and apply it towards an enlightened being? I have experienced for myself 100% without question that Swamiji is definitely enlightened. Asking if he misbehaved with me, first of all, that implies that he's some kind of a boss in the business world and I'm some kind of vulnerable little girl. There's no such thing as the Me Too movement when it comes to Swamiji's organization because he's not a boss. He's an enlightened avatar. He's a guide. He's a spiritual figure. He definitely did not misbehave with me or with any woman, and he's not capable of hurting anyone. All he does as guru, as an embodiment of pure consciousness, is empower us with what we are seeking. The moment we want something, he fulfills it. He doesn't take anything back from us. Implying that he's used any of us in some negative way implies that he has physical needs of an ordinary human being and that he's preying on others to fulfill those needs. That was not my experience. And I can tell you the amount of years I spent from 2009 till now, so 10 years of being around him. If he were the monster so many people are trying to imply that he is, so many of the false media propaganda stories are claiming, if that was truly his character, he would have definitely done something in those 10 years. I would have either witnessed something with somebody else or it would have happened with me. And then I would be saying something different, or I wouldn't be continuously again and again and again reassuring people that he behaved as perfectly as Mahasadashiva himself. When I look back at the years and at the transformations, one thing that I feel extremely grateful for in life is having good intuition about people. I may have gone into some things that others wouldn't have gone into. I might have had some experiences others wouldn't have necessarily had, but I feel every single one of those was positive. And especially my time with Swamiji, there's something so empowering about knowing we can reach higher spiritual states. The breakthroughs that I had in yoga, in flexibility, in strength, in posture, the breakthroughs that I had in my inner space, the breakthroughs I had in knowing I can manifest, creating the business I created on Etsy since coming back, things that I wouldn't have believed I could have done then. I know I can do now because he has given me the experience that I am the creator of my life, the creator of my reality, and what I choose to experience, I'll experience. Anyone who questions Swamiji or who questions his organization or his programs, what you need to understand is that if you don't like it, if you don't want to go, that's perfectly fine. But when so many of us come forward, my mother included, who attended 4 programs, a lot of my good friends, when so many of us come forward and say that this experience has benefited us, Why not just believe what we're saying at face value? We're not liars. We have nothing to gain from it. I'm no longer connected to that organization in any way whatsoever. I have nothing to lose, nothing to gain by saying this. When I say he was good to me and I'm grateful for the time that I spent there, that's all there is to it. I'm not going to touch on this subject again because personally I find it boring and annoying to say the same thing over and over and over again. And I'm excited to take this channel into a new direction while keeping with that theme of what remains the same within us, no matter how much time goes by. One thing that I've always loved from the time I was a little girl is makeup and jewelry. Expect to see more tutorials. A couple days ago, maybe yesterday, I'm not sure when this video will get posted, but I posted my first ever makeup tutorial to do sparkly pink eyeliner. And someday I might do another tutorial for this blue style that I'm doing today. Who knows? Expect to see tutorials for how to make jewelry, like these Shri Chakra earrings that I'm wearing right now, or like some of the beaded gemstone bracelets that I make. You can expect to see what I eat in a day, my favorite vegan protein smoothie with blueberries and spinach. You can see what kind of, marinated tofu dish I make, what kind of organic stuff I buy. Maybe I'll take you for a walk to my nearby post office and you can see the route that I go when I ship the Etsy sales, especially if you buy something from my shop that might interest you. Expect more vlog style videos. And very, very soon, expect to meet someone who I love very much, very dearly, for whom and with whom I came to Toronto. And then you'll see a whole other dimension of my life that I haven't shared on YouTube yet that I'm excited to delve into. As time goes by, as we change, as we transform, like I said in that first video of this year, the one thing we should always hold on to is the gratitude for everything that we've gone through, because that has brought us to where we are now. The gratitude for what we have now, because when we're grateful for it, we remember to cherish our existence. That fills us with joy, with happiness, with gratitude for life. And that also ensures that we'll manifest for ourselves the best possible future. And so, with respect, I'm requesting, if you don't want to hear about these kinds of topics, please don't flood my comment section with lamentations about how you miss the old me, because I'm still the same me. And if you're somebody who only wants to talk about the negative stuff, if you have all kinds of abusive comments to say about Hinduism or about Swamiji, please just don't watch my videos anymore. I'm not at all here to fight or to argue. If you push me, if you provoke me, of course I'll always stand up and defend Swamiji, because he was a huge blessing in my life and always will be. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to share what I find inspiring and exciting, the crystals and gemstones I work with, the sacred jewelry styles I wear, the expression of divine femininity, veganism, animal rights, all that good stuff. So if you're with me, stay with me. And I also want to know, where are all my girls? I remember when I started this channel back in 2011, I would check YouTube analytics and see that, usually 60% of my subscribers were female, 40% were male. Then it started to shift and became 50-50 around like 2013, 2014. And now there's like an overwhelming majority, 75 to 80% of viewers are only male. And I'm wondering, as a girly girl who watches typically, like the other YouTubers I watch are like Superwoman, or I'll watch makeup tutorials, I'll watch, videos where girls are sharing their life experience, I'm wondering, where are all the girls? So if you're one of my female viewers, thank you, sister, for watching, and let me know, what kind of videos do you watch? What interests you? And what would you like to see more of on this channel? Because I really feel like when it comes to expressing divine femininity, we should be here to empower each other, to support each other, to share with each other, and to enjoy this journey together. So thanks for watching. Let me know, how do you feel about the different phases of life you've gone through? Have you, like my grandmother and myself, changed from one religious faith into another? Have you embraced a new path in life? Have you gone through some extreme fashion styles. You might notice I've kept my Shiva Jettas that I just love so much, the hairstyle of enlightenment, because I feel like if there's a hairstyle that activates the different pressure points on our heads and leads us into a higher consciousness, why would we have any other style? If you've gone through major transformations as well, how do you feel now looking back on what you believed before? How do you find that balance? I'm very curious about this. And also let me know, like I said, what kind of videos would you like to see on this channel going forward? I'm open to your suggestions. And last but not least, as a special gift, I want to offer you a personalized talisman. If you buy anything in my Etsy shop at all, mention this video and I will send you something extra special. One little secret most people don't know is that I send a free gift with almost every single order in the shop. At least something, I'll send a little gift. But if you mention this video, I'll make you a talisman using at least 3 different gemstones. I'll intuitively look in, feel what would resonate best with you, or you can leave me a note in the purchase when you mention this video and tell me what you want to manifest in your life. I will customize the talisman based on that and send it along with whatever you purchase. So I hope you like that. I hope you're as excited as I am to move into 2019 to see what other transformations existence brings us. Life is full of surprises, and I can't wait to see what's next, and I can't wait to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. Namaste.